BB851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
Qantas is currently in the process of reviewing its narrow-body fleet, with eyes on an order for a new aircraft coming eventually. Ultimately, the COVID-19 pandemic may have slowed that though. However, what remains a priority is replacing their now aging Boeing 737s, which are used on domestic services across Australia and across the Tasman to neighbouring New Zealand. With the A320, 737 MAX and A220 all being options for future short-haul operations, I thought I'd take a look at the A220 specifically and how it'd work with Qantas. The Australian flag carrier isn't actually as unaware of the A220 as you might think. CEO Alan Joyce flew on the A220 on a special flight late last year. The flight, which took place out of Sydney, saw a number of journalists also join Joyce on this said flight. The A220 was deemed by Joyce himself to be a very good aircraft. The variant they specifically flew was the Dash 300, that is the longer one, and the one that holds more passengers. During the flight, Joyce was able to explore the cabin, galleys, lavatories, and more. With a flight duration of around an hour, it gives the executives the best possible in-flight experience of the new product that can help aid in the fleet renewal discussions. This is not actually the first time though Joyce has been involved in a flight/viewing of an Airbus aircraft. In fact, during the A350-1000 World Demonstration Tour, it conveniently visited Sydney. Joyce and a number of other engineers and pilots within Qantas had the opportunity to take a look at the aircraft that many pitted against the 777X as the ideal aircraft for Project Sunrise. It just so happened that Qantas went on to eventually select the A350-1000 for the Project Sunrise flights. Although at the moment, like a lot of things, Project Sunrise has really been put up in the air as we're unsure when Qantas will exactly confirm their orders for the type, given the current demand of the aviation industry and it likely not returning to pre-COVID-19 levels for many years. Back to the A220 though, the series has two variants, that being the A220-100 and A220-300, and they can seat from 100 to 160 passengers between them. With a range of some 3,000 to 3,300 nautical miles, this becomes a brilliant option for Qantas. While an aircraft like the A220 could be used on shorter routes thanks to its capabilities, it could also cover quite a lot of the Oceania region from Sydney specifically, like that of Indonesia and the South Pacific Islands. However, should Qantas want to use it for something else, say they could purchase the A220-100, these could operate on services that their Fokkers and 717s flew on. Ultimately, these are the more regional services, and, in my opinion, could work really well doing both. Say, going to Indonesia from Sydney, it gives them that fleet renewal and modernisation that they're really looking for. The 737 MAX still remains an option for some services, while the A320neo has of course been missing in most recent talks, but was indeed ordered by the group. Joyce though did make note last year that Boeing is still having its issues with the MAX, which means a decision cannot be fully made right now. However, it does put the A220 in a good position, considering the average age of the airline's 717s and Fokker fleet are indeed past the decade mark, and some are reaching 2 decades. It gives us the idea and infers to us that Qantas is looking for a replacement sooner rather than later. And if problems still continue around the 737 MAX, the A220 might just be the best option in that regard. Now, that's not to rule out a 737 MAX order completely. There is, of course, the chance they could go with both, and they could get a heavy discount for the MAX to be ordering it around now, but time will only tell in that regard. Do you believe the A220 could work within the Qantas fleet in the future? Feel free to drop your thoughts below. For future videos, feel free to subscribe and hit the post notification bell to be notified when that video goes live. Until the next one, stay safe, and I'll see you all next time.